Okay, so come into a seat. If you liked sitting on the edge of your blanket like that, if you felt like that was helpful for you to kind of get your pelvis tilted in the right direction so it's not tilting back, you're not creating this curve in your spine, you can sit up nice and tall. And then extend your feet out to, let's see, let's do a V shape. Doesn't have to be wide, just something that's comfortable for you. Lengthen your spine. Lengthen the back of your neck. So you're reaching up through the crown of your head. The back of your neck is long. Your chin is in a little bit. Take a big breath in. Let your belly expand, chest expand. You can bend your knees a little bit. And as you exhale, fold forward. And fold forward until you reach your stopping point. So there's a couple things that are going to stop you here. One is compression. Compression is two body parts moving closer to each other. You know, when you're folding, your leg and your belly are going to move closer to each other. So that might stop you. What also might stop you here is tightness in your hamstrings. And if you feel like that's what's stopping you and you could fold forward a little bit more to get more stretch into your back, you can do a couple things. You can put some support under your legs, like a blanket or two, or a block if you have blocks there to support your legs. So you're taking a lot of the work out of your legs. Like they're still going to get a lot of stretching there. You're just taking kind of the work out of your legs and focusing on your back. So fold forward, find your stopping point. Tuck your chin to your chest, let your back round. So we're looking mostly for a big stretch in your back. You can rest your hands, you can rest your elbows. You can find a way to support yourself here as well. If your arms don't reach all the way to the ground, you can find something. I've got a block here. Rest your elbows. And we're gonna hold here 3 minutes. Probably be a bit longer. I realize I'm not very good at estimating time, even when I have a clock. So I don't know. You can always stop. Fast forward. Stay aware of your breath here, the way you're breathing. Don't let that go. And just maybe notice how when you get your body into different positions, your breathing feels a little bit different. This forward fold, you're a little bit more constricted through the front side of your body. Your belly is a little more constricted, so that inhale feels like a little more pressure there. But keep using your diaphragm. You're always welcome to adjust. You know, if this gets to be a little too much for your legs, you can pull one or both legs in and still get this forward fold. You might be able to fold forward even a little bit more. If you have to adjust your legs, try just one first and then both if that's too much. Keep relaxing your head, so you're dropping your chin down, getting that stretch through the whole back side of your body. 60% of your lung capacity is in the back side of your body. So wherever you have your ribs are protecting your lungs. So wherever you have ribs, there's lungs there. Your ribs go farther down the back than they do in the front. You know, if you like touch your body, you can feel that. You can also feel the expansion of your lungs, the way your rib cage opens as you breathe in. In yoga, the backside of your body is symbolic of your past, kind of the dark side, your unconscious side, the things that are behind you. And your front side is symbolic of what's ahead, the things you're facing, the things you're moving toward. 3 more breaths. Slowly push yourself up. Nice and slow. And then come back. Bring your hands behind you. With your fingertips pointing toward you. And then just lift your hips. Reverse tabletop. You can go as high or as low as you want here. Hold for 2 breaths. And exhale, come all the way back down and come into tabletop. Hands and knees, hands stacked under your wrists, knees stacked under your hips. And then just move your body here. Move in whatever way feels good to you. Side to side. You can circle. And then come to the middle. Breathe in and push your hips back behind you. Let your belly drop. Let your chest come forward and look forward. Breathe out and reverse that. So tuck your hips. Let your back round. Push your hands into the mat. Look back toward your feet. Inhale, start with your hips, send your hips back, let that movement ripple up through your spine, head last. Exhale, tuck your hips, head moves last. Do 3 more rounds on your own. So a round is an inhale and an exhale. It's a full round of breath, a full cycle of breath. And move with your body. Make your movement last as long as your breath. So when you're breathing in, that movement is lasting as long as it takes you to breathe in. And come back to a neutral spine. And walk your hands forward and bring your belly down to the mat. We're going to come into Sphinx pose, which is exactly like it sounds, Sphinx. So you want as much of the front side of your body to be on the mat as possible. Separate your feet out a little bit. They don't have to be this wide, but so they're maybe toward the bottom corners of your mat. A little bit wider. Move your I'll move this. It's probably easier. I'm a professional here. Can't you tell? Okay. So just move your body on the mat. So the fronts of your thighs are on the mat. You might even like stretch them back a little bit. And your hips are on the mat. So you want maximum contact between your lower body and the mat. Make sure it's not kind of squished up. So stretch it out. And then bring your elbows so they're just like forward of your shoulders. So you don't want them back here. You don't want them right under is fine. You want to be supported. Bring them a little bit forward. Palms and forearms down to the ground, parallel to each other. And your elbows should be a little bit wider than your shoulders. Option here, if you want a little support underneath your rib cage, you can take that blanket, and stick it, roll it up and stick it underneath your rib cage. That could give you a little more support if you feel like you need it. You can try it without, try it with, whatever you want. And then relax your lower body. Push your elbows into the mat. So you don't want to sink down into your shoulders. You want to keep your shoulders strong. Not a lot of effort. You just want to be supported here with your elbows. And keep your chest open and lifted. This is a big stretch for the front of your body, all the way from your belly button up through your throat. So you want to keep reaching your chest forward. Relax your shoulder blades so they slide down your back. And if you feel unstable here, adjust your body. So you want your elbows to be supporting you. So you don't have to put a lot of effort in. You're just getting yourself into a shape where you only have to use as much muscle as you have to keep your body in that shape. Not a lot of effort, right? So relax the effort you're putting into this. But keep your chest open. That's the most important part here. Think of stretching from your belly button all the way up through the top of your head. And as you breathe in, let your belly press against the mat or the ground if you're not using a mat. The earth, if you're earthing today. Feel your belly press against whatever you're laying on. And breathe out. Send that breath through the top of your head so you're lengthening. I'll take about 2 more minutes here. If this starts to be a lot for you, you can support your head if you want to bring the palms of your hands to your forehead. Again, just find a stable spot for your elbows. Keep your shoulders pulled down away from your ears, even if you're resting your head. Three more breaths. And then bring your hands down to the mat. Stack your hands. Rest your forehead. Turn your left leg out and pull your left knee up toward your hip. Any amount. Turn your head, look to the left. About a minute here. Notice what you're feeling, where you're feeling it in your body. Pay attention to what is happening in your body, what your body's doing. It's your only job right now. Slide your leg back down, and then we'll do the other leg. Right leg out. Pull it up toward your hip, any amount. Turn your head to the right. Feel that. And notice what happens to that feeling. Does it dissipate? Does it stay? Does it get more intense? Focus your attention on whatever you're feeling. Maybe your right hip, your right leg. Make that the only thing that you're thinking about right now. Last breath. Slide your leg back down. And then push yourself back up to tabletop. Except stay down on your elbows. We're going to come into a pose called sometimes called puppy pose. Dogs do this. Kevin does this. Stretch like this. Also called heart melting pose. It's a chest opener, big chest opener. You're going to try to get your chest down toward the mat. So if you can notice, keep your hips stacked over your knees. So you've got a straight line there. You can tuck your toes. You can put them flat, whatever is comfortable for you. And then walk your elbows forward, and you're going to let your chest come down toward the mat. Or you want to rest your forehead either on the mat, on a blanket, on a block. Stretch your hands forward. So you're getting a lot of stretch through your arms and your sides as well. Two minutes here. I'm talking to my phone.
Oh. With who?
I'm just making a video for Grandma. Are you going somewhere?
Yeah, it's Lou's birthday. We're gonna go do stuff.
Are you taking my car?
Yeah, is that okay?
Yeah.
Thanks.
When are you going to be back?
I don't know. I'll probably be back at some point earlier, and then having dinner with the family and stuff.
Okay, well, there's a poster in the back of my car. Can you pick it out?
Yeah.
Put it in the mailbox.
Okay. Yeah. And then I still need to talk to you and Dad at some point. Okay. Is it Sunday?
Today's Sunday, yes. Okay, bye. Have fun.
Bye. Thanks.
Try to relax your arms. Visualize every exhale, you're moving closer to the ground. letting yourself sink even more. About 10 more breaths here. And walk yourself back. Sit your hips down, child's pose. So that can look like this. Thank you. You can rest your head on your hands. You can bring your knees a little closer together if you want and have your hands down. If it's not that comfortable for you to bring your hips down toward your heels, you can take a blanket or something or a couple blankets and stick them right behind your knees. Like you're gonna wedge them into your knees there. You want it right in that knee crease. And then that will give you some support there. So you can get the stretch without over stretching if that's uncomfortable for you. So we'll spend about a minute here. If you want a little more in your shoulders too, sorry, lots of options here. Prayer hands. You can bring your hands behind your neck. That's going to stretch your triceps here. One more breath. Full cycle of breath. And come up to tabletop. Move your hips. Move around, move your shoulders. And then pick up your right hand, stretch it out to the side, kind of to a diagonal here. Get some length there through your right hand, your right arm. Then take your right hand, you're gonna bring it under your left armpit with your palm facing up. And stretch your right hand away from you. Try to get the whole back of your arm onto the mat and all the way down to your shoulder. Keep your hips stacked above your knees. You can stay here. Turn your head to the left so the right side of your face is on the ground. You can keep your hand here. You can walk your hand out if you want a little more stretching through your side. Or if you want a little bit of a twist, you can bring your left hand up and around. Rest it on your low back or down toward the right side of your waist. Your choice. About 2 minutes here. So there's a lot of waiting here, a lot of waiting for your body to open, getting yourself into a pose, finding your edge, your limit. So that point where your body's limit, maybe like we talked about earlier, maybe it's compression that's limiting you, maybe it's the length of your muscles stretching that's limiting you. But you find that limit, you find that edge, and then you sit and you wait for an invitation to go deeper. So as you sit and wait, your body's going to move, adjust, settle. And then you can decide if you want to take that invitation, if your body opens up a little bit and you want to go deeper. So it's a constant cycle of finding your edge, finding your limit, waiting, taking or not taking that invitation to go deeper, finding a new edge, waiting. And if your hand is extended, walk it back toward your face, lift back up to tabletop. And move around a little bit, move your hips. Move your back, maybe a cat-cow, something. And then take your left arm, stretch it out to the side, thread it underneath, back of your hand to the mat. Keep your hips high. Decide what you want to do with your right arm. Find your edge, find a sensation in your body. Move your body until you're feeling something somewhere. And then wait. And pay attention. And breathe. And relax. When you exhale, let something go. That's what it feels like. Letting something go that's not useful for you anymore, the air that has already been used, let it out. And then you have room for new air to come in. The more you let out, the more room there is for the new air. About 5 more breaths. And push yourself back up. Tabletop, move your hips any way that feels good for you. Move your back, maybe some cat-cow. And come back to a seat. And take about 10 breaths here. I'm going to end. And then I have a couple more for the next video. These are turning out to be longer than I expected, so